Hi, Assalamualaikum, and a good day to the panel of judges, to the participants, and fellow researcher. So, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Fauziana Ibrahim. I'm from Multimedia University, Malacca. So, today, on behalf of my research team, we would like to present our research paper entitled Adoption of E-Wallet Through the Technology Acceptance Model among students during the endemic phase in Malaysia. So without further delay, let's look into the introductions. So Malaysia long-term vision is to create cashless society through e-wallet payment in the year 2022. Has been well spelled out in Malaysian digital economy blueprint. So to support this agenda, the government has allocated 1.26 billion to boost a Malaysian economy, to stimulate the spending and encourage the digital financial transaction adoptions. So from here we can see that the government has introduced E29 Rakyat E-Penjana project in the year 2020. Yeah. So the government provide cash giveaways to consumer who really adopt the e-wallet payment method such as Shopee Pay, Touch and Go e-wallet, Grab Pay, and many more. Okay, so I would like to share here the most popular types of e-payment in Malaysia are GrabPay, Boost, credit card, debit card, Lazada wallet, Touch and Go e-wallet, EBChat, Shopee Pay. So these are the data that been collected when we have done our literature review. Yeah. And next, okay, let's look at into the definition of e-wallet itself. Okay, so the terms of e stands for electronic. So in the context of e-payment, describe the transaction procedures that does not require physical cash. So e-wallet platform is the a platform permits the consumer to purchase the product and services from anyone, from any business in a convenient way, in a technology efficient approach. Yeah. So the current global pandemic, okay, has significant impact on society lifestyle, particularly in terms of the monetary transaction. So during pandemic period, the peak of MCO period in Malaysia, 3 million of new e-wallet service membership were recorded. So it also supported on the statistic which is released by Bank Negara Malaysia. The average number of digital payment has risen, growing from 49 in 2011 to over 221 in 2021. Okay, in fact, there are 7.2 billion business transactions were processed through e-wallet in Malaysia last year. So it shows that it is a fastest adoption transaction, rising from since 2006. So it shows that e-wallet acceptance has increased dramatically in Malaysia, hence make Malaysia to be cashless society in future. However, However, despite of recent claim, Malaysia is moving towards a cashless society. Evidence shows that 11% decrease of adoption on e-wallet since the endemic began. Okay, the recent study. Yeah? A part of that, we also found a various study to support this statement. There are 78% of Malaysian they prefer cash compared to other payment option. And the other study also found out that 14 of e-commerce transaction in Malaysia only use adoption of e-wallet only 14% compared to 29% in Indonesia, 20% in Singapore and Philippines, and even 90% in Thailand. So the adoption of e-wallet in Malaysia considered low compared to the other Asian country. Yeah? and we will try to find out what would be the reason that consumer in Malaysia prefer cash compared to e-wallet. So we found out the recent study shows that the acceptance of e-wallet is focused on advertising and promotion, which forcing the consumer to download the e-wallet apps but never use them. So therefore, to boost the cashless economy and improve e-wallet adoption among Malaysia consumer, the marketer and the digital platform, provider need to really understand what is the needs and wants of the consumer. So therefore, this research intended to explore push factor of adoption of e-wallet among students by undefining the TAM model. So why TAM model? Sebab TAM model known as a valid conceptual model for the adoption of new information system technology like e-wallet. And our respondents are from students because reports verifies that 71% of e-wallet adoption in Malaysia is come from generation Z, which is they are belongs to 20s, and they are currently pursuing study. In total make up to 26 percentage of Malaysian population. So without further delay, okay, let's look into the methodology. So this will be a quantitative research design, which is the data have been analyzed using statistical analysis, which is SPSS and Smart PLS version 4. And then this study use purposive sampling, and we managed to collect up to 208 samples. Yeah. So according to the famous author Bugi and Sekara in 2019 mentions that this sample of 208 is sufficient because sufficient respondent should be not less than 30 and should be not more than 500. And the research instrument we adapt and also modify from previous literature review, and the research instrument have been divided according to the section A, section B, and section C. So section A is contain of demographic questions, section B contain of the independent variables, items, and section C more on the adoptions of e-wallet. And on the result, so the demographic profile of the respondents shows that the majority of the respondents belongs to the age group of 20 and 29, and then most of them are from female category, 76% of them, and those are pursuing in diploma, and from 148 students are from public IPTA compared to IPTS. And then on the table measurement model, so it can be seen that in a table 2, the table shows that all the data value is viable, reliable, and consistent because the value exceed the compa alpha of 0.7, composite reliability of 0.7, and AVE 0.5. So including factor loading 0.7. So it shows that all the items are reliable and also consistent data. Yeah. And then on the measurement model, this is the part. So as a result, all the factor loading in a figure 1 reveal that the study met all the instrument requirement on the adoption of e-wallet, perceived ease of use, and perceived useness from the first round of PLS analysis. Yeah. And so the result of the hypothesis testing. So the bootstrap approach was employed to determine the statistical impact of the structural model path coefficient. So as we can see, hypothesis 1 and hypothesis 2 is supported as the p-value more than 0.01 and 0.001. Okay, so on the discussion part, okay, So perceived ease of use increase the student adoption of e-wallet. So when students believe that technology is simple to use, they are more likely to adopt e-wallet services. So they tend to use the e-wallet due to convenience and ease of the cashless payment for their daily activity in terms of spending, paying the utilities, buying the groceries and shopping. So it shows that ease of use have a positive relationship with the adoption of e-wallet services. On the hypothesis two, perceived usefulness is also closely associated on the student e-wallet adoptions. Okay, because when the individual trust increase the using of the specific system, in this case e-wallet, and increase the capacity to perform the task. At the final part, the TAM framework hypothesis, which is perceived ease of use and perceived useness, have directly positive relationship with the social behavior purpose of the adopt of the technology. So our finding also align with the previous finding that TAM model are the core element and play a crucial part in the e-wallet adoption. So as a conclusion, the study made a theoretical contribution and provide a deeper understanding on the consumer electronic wallet adoption during COVID-19 endemic cases. So marketer, mainly e-wallet providers, okay, may grasp the information, then the needs and wants of Malaysian consumer by looking into the attitude and behavior through this research. Furthermore, the study will help nurture the adoption of e-wallet payment in the long run, which align with the Malaysian government agenda to be the cashless nation. So, however, this study have a small limitation. So, we would like to recommend future studies should consider exploring other generation, including Generation X, Baby Boomer, to get a generalization result of adoption of e-wallet. I think that's all from me and my team. So thank you very much for listening. Take care. Assalamualaikum. Bye bye.